What up? This is High Definition Pod. This podcast This is your boy Maurice.
Torez.
And we are back for another episode. My brother Torez. What's going on?
Man, it's been a good day. Had a good weekend. I had an earache all week, but it's just my allergies. But other than that though, man.
Pollen.
Solid week. Yeah, dude, that's what it is,
It's
man.
pollen.
It's what it is, dog. And so my conclusion was they looked at my ear and it was like, there's nothing wrong. So my conclusion was my throat.
Mm-hmm.
And your ear, throats, the nose, it's all connected. So I guarantee that's what it was.
Word.
So how about yourself, bro?
Here's the weekend.
Solid.
That's all that mattered to me. It was the weekend, bro. That's all. You know what I mean? That's all that mattered to me. Yeah. Nah, it was chilling for the most part. What did we do?
What did y'all do? I worked all weekend. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't working. That's all. That's all.
That's all right, though. That's all right, though.
But hey, y'all already know what we about. We all about the conversation. All about dialogue. We all about giving you a different perspective on various topics. But and sometimes we have guests on. Allah as in today. But hey, overall, y'all know what it's about. You can agree, you can disagree. Only thing we don't tolerate disrespect.
Not at all.
Hey, y'all already know we'll be in the comments with you all when this video premieres. This is Monday. If you're in the Spartanburg area, you already know. If you got charter, we got some issues today. Hopefully it'll be fixed by tonight when I get ready to go do the post edit and all that. But anyway, Torez, who we got on the pod today, bro?
So today we have the honor of sitting down with this man to my left right here. He is a producer, film director. He's a father and a husband. Mr. Jonathan Oglesby.
Yo. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, man.
Man, it's pleasure. How's your weekend?
It was the weekend.
Understood? Yes, I love y'all's perspective on the weekend. I'm like, I worked all weekend,
Man, that's all that matters. Good. Like you said, man, you get through Monday and Friday, you good.
Yeah.
I just get through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm good. Well, but yeah, man, so we have you on today because you're getting ready to drop a dope project, a movie,
right,
by the name of Tools.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and just give us let the people know a little bit about Tools.
Man, Tools is a kind of like a documentary, so to speak, a life story of a guy by the name of John. You know, he grew up in a rough childhood. Something tragic happens to him, and it ultimately lands him in prison. You know, but as you know, most people do when they go to prison, they vow to make a change in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And he does. So, but when he gets out, he realizes it's easier said than done. You know, a lot of stumbling blocks, a lot of roadblocks, a lot of going back to the past, old friendships and whatnot. And it's a lot of twists and turns. We follow the story of actually not just one character, but three.
Really?
Yeah, that follows different perspectives on life. You know, one who has a new mindset trying to get his life right. One of his old friends changes his life, and he's trying to do some good things in the community. And another friend of his that ain't trying to do nothing.
Gotcha.
So it's three different aspects of life rolled into one, so to speak. I can't tell you about the other two characters, but
we catch that movie. We catch it when it drops.
Right. So it's dope. It's not graphic, but it's in your face. It's raw.
Got you.
And it's real.
I mean, that's what we need out here, man.
Yes, sir.
So
the world's in your face.
What and even before we go to this, kind of tell people what brought you to that point. You know, what was the whole basis of, you know, what was your starting point for wanting to do that movie?
Right. Well, I'm a minister. Used to be a pastor. So I always try to find ways to minister to people in different
avenues.
Right. But trying to be transparent and raw with them as well. Because I believe that's the number one tool, pun intended, to get people to come to Christ. Or I ain't even gonna say come to Christ. Do positive things.
Got you.
In general. You know, you got to start somewhere.
So
that was the goal. So I was writing a little sermon series, and God just spoke to me and said, make a movie. So I said, okay. You know, I love writing anyway. So I write songs, poetry, all that. So I tackled it. And, you know, I reached out to Smith A. Lee, cinematographer for the film.
Shout out to Smith.
Shout out to
Yes,
Lee.
sir. And he said, you could do a short film. I said, okay. But God said, no, it's a feature. It's a feature film. I said, well, God, you told me to do it, so I'm going to do it. That's how we got to this place where we are now.
So have you ever been involved in filmmaking, or I know you said you write poetry,
Right.
but this your first time ever going into like the film?
This is my first film ever. So so that's a faith walk indeed to do something that I have never done, but I always was around people who did movies, and I was in some of Lee's stuff and did some of his plays and stuff like that. So that kind of gave me the urge to, write stories and write, different things. So
Word. I love, like, it sounds like the movie is a tug of war.
right.
Like you said, John gets out, he's changed his life, but things are trying to pull him back in. So
Right.
I mean, I love that aspect. So I want to interview you, get the people know who watching this, who Jonathan Oglesby is. So, first question: was there a particular event or time that you recognized that filmmaking is something that you wanted to do?
That's a good question. And I've been trying to think on it when you sent me the question. Because my life is so all over the place with kids and everything. So I got inspired by just local filmmakers. The Johnny Sizemores, the Smith A. Lee when he was doing his plays and things. So it always was in the back of my mind that said, okay, that's an avenue one day I can kind of go down, So that was kind of like the seed that was planted, but I never acted on it until God said, all right, you gonna, let's do a film, So it was totally out of my comfort zone,
And you know what? He says that faith walk.
Yeah, definitely. So that's how we got to this, feature film, man. It wasn't intended to be a feature film. It's a 2-hour and 15-minute film. So that was all God. I ain't know I had that much writing in me. So
Okay, so you said you didn't have that much in you. Talk to the people about the process of you just getting started. Like you just said, you didn't know all that was in you.
Right.
So talk to them about how was that journey? Just you getting started, and then it's like more of you is being unpacked. How was that process? Just you getting started, and how did you keep going?
Man.
You talk to the people about that.
Man, getting started is the hardest thing because we started with nothing. Like we just started with a vision, and that's the main thing. Hardest part is getting started. When you in it, you're not gonna quit because you done, went up the hill, so to speak.
Right.
So we just started. Me, my right hand man Antonio McClintock. He said, I said, I'm thinking about doing a film. He said, all right, let's do it. I'm like, okay, you ain't gonna ask no questions. But that's just him. So we was like chopping it up and going through scenarios, and that's when I realized that we really can do this, even though it's just two of us. But I believe that everybody you meet in life is in some way a part of your vision.
Most definitely.
Whether it's them being a part of the vision or giving you resources for the vision. So that's how it kept encouraging my faith. Little pieces of the puzzle coming together, and started with nothing to having a crew. Having Smith A. Lee on board, wise, beyond his years, kind of weird, but that's what makes him the GOAT to me.
Facts.
So he was mentoring me. He said, do this, you need this, you need that, you need that. Okay, cool. And I'm a learner, so he knows more than I do. So I said, all right, I'm gonna do everything he says and do it to the T. And just step by step, day by day, I realized that we finally can get this done, no matter how long it takes. Because when I start something, I don't quit it. And especially when God tells me to do something, I'm not gonna just fold and say, all right, maybe it's not my season. When God tells you something, it is your season. It's time to go now. So,
Amen to that.
Yeah.
yes, sir.
So, what was the most important lesson that you learned from? Okay, let me see. What was the most important lesson you had to learn, and how did it have a positive effect on this film?
Oh man, the positive effect. Let's start with the negative.
Hey, we wide open. Let's go.
but before I say that, God, when I said I'll do it, God said I'm gonna show you something, and I've heard, He said that to me, I guess more than 10 times audibly. For those of you who don't believe in that, I do. But it said I'm gonna show you something. Look at everything, learn from everything, but I'm gonna show you something. And the things that I gathered and I learned hurt sometimes, but it also opened my eyes and to see who was for me, who was not for me, to see who was preying on my downfall, or some people that was coaching me and was actually there for the vision. So I lost my train of thought, but I was about to preach.
Hey,
We'll go there with you.
wait.
We will go there with you.
But it taught me patience with people, not with anything else, with people, because a lot of different personalities involved, a lot of different backgrounds. So you got to kind of maneuver your way through people's feelings and emotions and let them know, hey, this is just business. You ain't got to flip out all the time. You ain't got to wild out. Let's just get it done. So patience was the number one tool that I got, from it. A lot of patience. A lot of hurry up and wait. People fussing at you and you like, what in the world is going on? But we finished the objective, so patience. Patience is key.
It's funny that you say that. So being a director, you have to be a collaborator.
Oh, definitely.
How have you discovered members of your team, and how do you keep that relationship going strong, especially with filming a film through a pandemic?
Man.
Yeah, so when did y'all actually, and just kind of peek, when did y'all actually start filming? Y'all actually started during the pandemic?
No, it was actually before.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I said patience, is key. We wrapped, man, it's been so long. In January of 2020.
So y'all ended it right before?
Right before.
Okay.
Yeah, so we was gonna drop it that year. Then the pandemic happened.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So we had to sit on it for like a solid year.
How was that?
It was, man.
Patience.
It's like, yeah. It's like money just sitting there. It's like, man, I gotta get it. But it allowed me to take my time with it. That's the key about patience. You rush it, you can ruin something. Yes. So I really just took my time with it. But as far as you said, building a team, you don't know your team until you start.
Facts.
You don't, because you can start something. By the time you start, half your team is gone. Wow. So I'm like, man, okay, like God told me, said, pay attention to everything. And the people that reached out to me and was willing to do anything to make the vision happen, those were the people that was assigned to the vision, not attached to the vision. It's a difference. Yeah. But I discovered my team through that. Even they're so humble, they say, don't give me no title. I'm just going to do it out the kindness of my heart. So I just kept that. I said, okay, I ain't giving you no title, but you part of the team, cool. Okay. So it kind of matches who I am. I don't like this. This is new to me, spotlight. But I just want the tools film to be the forefront. But I have to get out my comfort zone to promote it. So God just molded me to a whole different person, so to speak.
Do you think, and this one ain't even on there.
He knows.
Oh, we improv.
Yeah, that's
it happens. It happens a lot.
like we tell all like this. It's a structured yet unstructured.
I like it.
So, you said you were formerly a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
How about, what lesson did you learn from pastoring that you were able to use during this filmmaking process?
Patience.
And I guess too, and then a follow-up question to that is, I don't want you to give,
right.
You say what you comfortable saying, but how did you get into pastoring, and then what was the shift? At what point did you shift from pastoring, like, okay, God, this probably not what I need to be doing in this season?
Right.
How did that whole transition come about too? So that's kind of like a follow-up question.
I had to get out the way. I'm honest with that. The reason why the ministry failed was because of me. I'm honest. I'm open with that. Didn't move the right way. God said go left, I went right. to appease people, and to appease my own flesh, my lofty goals. So it kind of, but it crumbled on purpose because I knew that pastoring, behind the little podium or whatever, that I wasn't reaching the people that I wanted to reach.
Gotcha.
Because we was at the Upward Star Center. We had a little room in there for like months. And I'm seeing, the events going on, everybody out there. I got my little crew in there. I'm like, I really want to be out there instead of in here. That's a whole different story. But the reason why I ultimately left is because I knew God told me that's not my ministry. Your ministry is this. Not even filmmaking, but unorthodox ways to reach people where they are without judging them and without being churchy or preachy. That's my thing. I don't like wearing suits. I don't.
Same.
Say glory to God. Oh God. Yeah. I said, chill out, bro. Good morning. I thank God for those people, but that's not my lane. That's my lane that God gave me. So, working with people, and you learn that in pastoring, is you work with a lot of different personalities, and sometimes you don't want to step on toes, and you got to step on them to help heal them, but they don't understand that you're trying to heal them and help them and show them God. So learning about patience and giving people grace was the whole thing that got me through this process in general. So,
I know one thing too, 'cause you talked about it earlier, with your team, it's like, because one thing my pastor say, I always do it. Shout out to Apostle Ryan and Pastor Erica from City Gate. I do it every episode. But I know one thing he always talks about, pastoring, preaching is the easiest part of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He always says, really pastoring is all about managing relationships. And,
Facts.
And you know what I'm saying? And one of the things you mentioned earlier about, with when you was forming your team, it's all about, hey, we take care of business. Ain't nothing against you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people, they don't get that concept. But I think, for you to be humble enough to say, hey, I'm making a mistake by doing this. I need to be going this way. Right. I think that shows your maturity.
Right.
I mean, how many in our generation don't do that because we want that spotlight?
Yeah.
True. And it hurts. I'm like, man, I messed this up, but it was a good thing that I did because this wasn't my assignment, so to speak, And like you said, your pastor said that the real pastoring and preaching is when you counsel people, when they call you on the phone all times of the night, when they want to come over and chop it up when you don't feel like it. That's the part of the sacrifice that makes you a good leader.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Been there. And I am no pastor whatsoever.
Right.
But do you ever think, and this is just open dialogue, you know what I'm saying? Like the type of emotional, wellness you have to be able to handle that. I remember Pop, he said one time, I think he was just talking to somebody, I think they're trying to go in the pastor, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna give you myself. It's like hypothetically, I give you my cell phone for a day. Let me know how you. Cause me and him had a conversation one time. He's like, one moment somebody saying they're getting ready to get married, and next moment, you might 5 minutes later you might get a phone call. Somebody, mama or daddy just died.
Yeah.
So you just got all ends of the spectrum, and then in the middle of that, you might have something going on with your own family. So all this stuff you got to weigh, like that's. I think a lot of people don't think about that.
No.
Only thing you really think about is get behind that pulpit. You getting the you ready to tune up.
Right.
But you ain't thinking about what's on the back end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think those are the lessons people really got to, and things that people got to consider. You know what I'm saying?
People just got to ask themselves this question: are you willing to be last the majority of the time?
Ooh.
You can't be first all the time. It's not about you, period. Don't look for a pedestal. That's not where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to put the people that you're helping on the pedestal and work on them. Like a potter's wheel. You put the clay on top of the potter wheel. You put them on that pedestal to work on them. But a lot of times pastors take the place of where their members are supposed to be, the people that's supposed to help. So you have to be last. And there's a lot of sacrifice. You got to find a balance as well because your family is your first ministry.
Facts.
You shouldn't be behind the pulpit. I shouldn't go there. But you
No,
shouldn't be
no.
you shouldn't be behind the pulpit and your family is in shambles.
We've said that. I said
Yeah.
that.
No.
You said it a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how you ministering to your church family, you can't even manage your own family.
Yeah, even the Bible talks about that. So, going back to tools, it seems like that was the mindset and the overall vision of your team for that movie is like, we don't want that title.
Right.
We just want to push this vision that you got, and you know what I'm saying. I think that's awesome, man.
Right. So when they said that, I'm like, yep, that's what I like. You
Yeah.
know, I don't even like being CEO of 06. I'm like, no, let's talk about the movie. That's just who I am. You
Yeah.
know, people that know my heart know that I ain't about all the
Yeah.
clout. That's what they say.
Yeah.
But the team helped the vision a year ago, so they got it in different markets. We were supposed to go to Canada for a premiere. Canada. We were supposed to do a press junket. You know, it's Hollywood terms. So.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. It was in a print.
It's kind of like this when they talk about it.
Okay.
About the film and why people should come out. Then we was gonna go back and have the premiere. We was supposed to be in Africa, California.
Which country after?
Oh, what's the name of it?
Ghana, Morocco.
It ain't Ghana. It's
I'm trying to name all the ones I know. Niger.
It's right next to Ghana though. I gotta talk to Tanya about it, but
Gotcha,
she looked
gotcha.
it up. But yes, a little small little.
Djibouti.
Yeah, something about it.
No, that's a real spot. Djibouti. Yeah.
Oh,
because
man.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a homeboy. He was stationed over there.
Word.
Wow.
Yeah.
Word.
It's by, I just know it's by the sea. It's on the coast.
Word.
Okay.
So,
Word.
But then the pandemic happened, and boom, we were supposed to be man. We were supposed. This hurt the most. We were supposed to be. One of my team members reached out to somebody that is over, the dine-in movie theaters.
Yes.
Across the country. I actually had the woman's number that was over that. Called her. She was rude at first. I'm like, oh man, somebody, Jonathan, just tell them who you are. Get right down to what you got to say. She's busy. I was like, okay. Told her, boom, boom, boom. Said, yeah, I'll give you the email, boom, boom, boom. We can do it. We was gonna be all over the country with it. Then the pandemic happened. Everybody, boom. Now we just put it on hold. I'm like, oh man. And you got to do all that over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was God saying, hey, do it the way I told you to do it.
Hey,
So
you can't go wrong with him.
No,
No.
not at all.
you may not understand it, but hey, it's gonna bless you in the long run.
I had that same conversation with somebody over the weekend.
Mm.
It's like God tell you to do something, and like you said, it's a faith walk. Like
Yeah.
you don't know what's down the stairs, you don't know what's through that door, but you gotta walk it, open it.
Right.
So I love movies. I know you love movies.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you love movies.
Of course.
So we all have a love for cinema. So what sparked your love to get into this business?
Just the overall, because Netflix is popping.
Popping. Disney Plus is popping.
Yeah, Disney Plus. You got Sundance got their own app now.
Everybody going streaming.
Yeah, so independent films is in now. A lot of films we see was adapted from an independent film. They probably just put a little bit more money into it.
Yeah.
So it's the way to go. And those are the most powerful films now. If you look at the genre, they got these big budget Avengers and all these. Everybody flocks to those, but it's those sleepers that we see on Netflix and say, have you watched this? Have you seen this? It's low budget, but it's real, real good.
Right.
Definitely.
So I said, well, maybe I got a lane, but it's a lot of hoops you got to jump through to get on those platforms. So you got to stomp your feet, yell, and hustle and market your way to get their attention. So I said, well, there's a lane for it now. Back in the day, it wasn't, but now it's an opportunity to, be on these platforms, or I ain't gonna say buy your way on it. Some people do that too. Yeah, but it just sparked something to say, you know what? If tools ain't it, I know the next one would be, because marketing and strategizing in the story is good. So sooner or later, I know that I can be on. I know I will be on one of those platforms, but in a positive kind of way. You know, packaged differently, of course, but where there's a will, there's a way, man. So,
Facts. So
awkward silence.
that's awkward silence. I was looking at him see if he was gonna answer the question, but it's like, but so we all can. I know I have people in my life that are in the same battle that John is in this movie. Did anyone in your personal life did you think of that fit that bill for this character?
No,
You don't have to name them, of course, but
no. I'm gonna tell you the crazy story about that. When me and Antonio was at the library, that's when we was doing the breakdown of what we wanted to talk about. We just want to talk about just putting life on screen, but that's kind of broad. So we like every dark, depressing kind of thing. We wanted to throw that on one character, or throw that on, like I said, 3 characters. And try to cover all that within a span of, I guess, hour and a half, 2 hours. So we did that, you know. I wrote it in 2 weeks. So that's, I don't know how I did it. That's God. But after we finished, Antonio said, "You know what this story sound like?" I'm like, "No." He said, "Al." He plays John in the movie, the main character. So I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, reach out to Al." Reached out to Al. He said, "A movie? Bro, man, you know I'm all for it, man." You know, he get real. I'm all for it, man.
That's
yeah,
Al.
glory to God, man. We gonna do it. So when we gonna get started? I said, "Hey, patience." You know, we we got it, and he read it, and man, he said, "Man, this is my life."
Yeah. Wow.
He said, "This is what I actually been through," and it was a lot. We had to coach him through it because he was reliving, some of those dark periods in his life. And I'll never forget, we was in Simpsonville rehearsing. That was a long drive for me. That was about an hour for me.
It is.
But we, you know, so I said, "Hey Lee, check out some of these scenes, 'cause I'm a learner." I said, "Tell me what you think." He came, you know, Lee, he just rubbing his beard. Do that scene. I'm like, okay, everybody like this dude crazy. Just trust me, he know what he doing. He was sitting in the corner. They did the scene, powerful scene. And it was like the best that's the best run through they ever had. Crying in the whole 9. I'm looking like, this what I've been wanting the whole time. So Al finished his scene. He starts pacing. Then runs out the door and down the steps. Everybody's quiet. And the funny part, Lee was rubbing his, he said, "Now that's acting." I'm like, the dude just
That's Lee. That's Lee.
the dude just broke down. So I went outside and I was literally pacing, like breathing hard. I said, "But I didn't want to go back there. I don't want to do that." I'm like, he had to unplug from it.
Yeah.
Because he was reliving some of those things. So what you see on screen, not all of it, but a lot of it, Al actually went through.
Wow.
So he portrays that character so, you know, powerful. And that was like, and man, I hate to ramble, but
No, go ahead.
Yeah, but most of the cast members that you see on there, the character they play is almost exactly what they went through.
That's wild, yo.
Almost
And
exactly.
that's see, you know what's wild? Because I know Al and phenomenal testimony.
Yeah.
And even when he's performing,
You feel it.
he's pacing like that. And when you went through that whole, I could see that in my head.
Yeah.
And it's funny how you said everybody's character can fit the bill of them. And you didn't know that.
Nah.
See, God will put the people in front of you so that they can get and capture exactly what is intended to be captured on the screen.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you another story. That's why I say, because we rehearsed for a year, because we was gonna shoot this real quick, and that was ministry the whole time, because we was up in Spartanburg, and we was at I guess Duncan Estate, and we was, you know, doing a promo. So one of the actors came. He was late. He had a lot going on, so he got a scene where, listen to the clip. He got a gun. So he just starts like shaking his head. I'm like, bro, you good? He said, and he just walked out. And he don't cry, but you could tell.
It was getting to him.
Yeah. And my one of the team members walked up to him. We call it the tear ministry. There's a lot of crying in rehearsing, a lot of therapy in rehearsing. So I'm like, what's going on? Because I try to connect with everybody because that's draining. So I just back off. I said, I'll let her handle it. He did it. He said, man. And come to find out, he watched his friend. I believe he watched his friend commit suicide. And he was acting like he was about to himself in the movie. So I gave something away. It's all good. It's dope. It's a dope scene. Cut that out.
I got you. I can do that.
But then after that, I ain't gonna tell his story, but that's when he literally cried. You know, ex-gang member dude, but he cried. And I'm like, I said, man, John, I appreciate this, man. You know, this is real therapy for me. And that's when it clicked. I said, this is ministry.
That's it.
This is what ministry looks like, you know. And it wasn't preachy. You know, they read the script. They was acting out things, and they was saying little nuggets. You know, put scripture in there, little, you know, sneak it in there.
Gotcha.
But it was healing them because they was confronting what they was trying to bury. So, because when you bury, I'm proud to preach.
Man, go ahead.
When you bury something alive, it just grows stronger, and it
Facts.
comes up at the wrong time in your life. So I'm big on confronting it so you can get over it. And they confronted a lot of stuff, man. So they that's why I guess they, you know, they're so tuned in to the film, and that's why they're promoting it the way they do, because they went through a lot to put out this, you know, independent film tools, man. I'm sorry, I'm about to preach.
Nah,
bro, no.
this is a safe. We want this to be a safe platform for everybody just to express themselves. I mean, funny thing is the way you just talked about confronting. My pastor literally, he just talked about that yesterday.
Wow.
Like literally, he was just talking about confronting that. You know, how you got to confront your stuff. But I'm kind of going to the next question too. How important do you think it is for us as the question is, do filmmakers have a responsibility to culture? But I'm taking a step further, not just filmmakers, because you yourself, you came out of the church to go into culture.
Right.
How important have you found it to be for us? Because you come from, you got different viewpoints you can come from.
Yeah.
You're a former pastor who is now engaged in culture. You're somebody that's involved in the church that's engaged in culture.
Right.
Talk about the importance for us as the church. Like you said earlier, me being in the four walls, that just ain't that you know, that wasn't you. So how? No, I'm saying, I think a lot of us have to really talk about that, because one thing me and Torez talk about all the time, if 2020 didn't do nothing, COVID forced the church to really have to engage culture in some way, form, some shape, form, or another. You had to engage culture in some way. I mean, that this podcast was birthed out of that.
Wow.
Because you know what I'm saying, we want to have dialogue that the church ain't talking about sometimes.
Dope podcast, by the way. Look at the episodes.
Appreciate that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we wanted to engage culture by having conversation. You're engaging culture by doing filmmaking.
Right.
Explain talk to people about your experience and why you feel that's important.
Man, that's the whole point of the gospel, man. That's the Great Commission.
Yep.
Go out, not in, you know. And we got comfortable with being in because, to be honest, it's two things. It's a money thing and it's an ego thing. Now, it's not, I ain't gonna say all, I know some dope churches that really are about,
They about their stuff.
they're about going out, and they don't really post it like that because it's not for that. It's for the people that they're trying to reach. So I'm not bashing church. I'm just saying that you have to go outside of those four walls and kind of get in culture. Not let it change you though, but if you let it change you, that just means you weren't strong as you thought you were. But you have to rub shoulders. You have to have dialogue with people. You have to let people be themselves. Don't like I always tell people, don't censor yourself around me. If you smoke weed, smoke weed. If you drink, drink. You cuss, cuss. Don't be fake. I want to see the real you. Yeah. Because I can't heal the fake you. I can't heal a mask.
Facts.
I gotta heal. I gotta talk to the person that you really are. And that's what God wants, transparency, going out there. But God honors, it don't matter if you go out in culture or not. God honors if you're trying to, make his name known. Let that be clear.
Yep.
But it's more impactful if you go out, and because a lot of people around here, this is a Bible Belt, a lot of people around here just not gave up on God, but gave up on the institution of church. And I know why. It's like a worship of a man or a woman. Can I go there?
Go.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you a story.
Just don't say no names.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna say no names. No names. But this just me. When I would start ministering, I'm young, got zeal, bold, like out of my mind. I'm a little baby though. So you know how that worked.
Mm-hmm.
So they had like a pastor's appreciation. And in that service, we had to stand like 5-6 times. I'm like, I'm not standing for nobody else. I don't care who comes down the aisle. This is getting ridiculous. This is in my head. I'm just sitting there, and I said, I'm gonna sit down this time. So I sat down. Everybody looked at me like, you gonna disrespect the man of God? I'm like, that's not God. I said, that's a man. I'm like, I'm tired of standing up. My feet hurt. I've been here 3-4 hours, But I that's why some people have good intentions when they start, but when they get the adoration of people, they feed the flesh, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. I've talked about that.
Yeah.
Lord, you want me to say it? I'm gonna say it. I spoke about this 3-4 years ago, and this is when I realized that being in the four walls of the church wasn't my thing. My ministry is like correction, and I said there's like 100 young people in there, and I said, and this was so bad, this was horrible, but it worked. I said, go to the pulpit, go into any kind of pulpit, and look at. I said, look at the chairs in the pulpit, and they was like, what? I said, look at the chairs in the pulpit. So they, this was horrible, by the way. It's so disrespectful. I didn't mean for it to be like that.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
I said, now, look, what do you see? I said, we see chairs. I'm like, what 2 chairs are the biggest? They said, the pastors and the. I said, and what that remind you of? The king and the queen. I said, but why the other chairs are regular chairs? Boy, it was silence. I said, people sometimes take that to heart and feed on that. I said, all those chairs look exactly the same. It don't matter if you a dope head or whatever. All your chairs look the same. Don't let a man or a woman make you feel lesser than what you are. You going through some hard times, and those pastors and preachers, they go through hard times, but they have a better job of concealing it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm done. I'm sorry if I offended everybody. The truth hurts, and it hurts me too. So I have to do that over and over to myself.
I've in my growth in the Lord, I have thought about that as well.
Right, but people don't say that. And everybody's not like that. Honestly, I know some good men and women of God that ain't all about that. They're just about healing people. So,
I mean, it's good and bad in everything.
Yeah, right.
So I think if we all take that mindset, because a lot of times if you go looking for the bad, you gonna find it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot, especially in the culture today, more people are looking for the bad in the church instead of saying, look, yeah, I see these over here doing good. I see these over here. I ain't fooling with them because I know they ain't doing right. You know what I'm saying?
But we created that.
Yep.
A place of perfect. Everybody in here is perfect. No, everybody in here is not perfect. Everybody in here is hurting. It's a hospital. That's what it is. Like people say, it's a hospital. But God turns graves into gardens, man. So
I got you on that one. Oh, what makes a great film for you?
Oh man, I love my action films.
What's your top 5 right now?
Ooh, I can't name them off the top. You can put me on the spot.
All right, so
man,
a film in the last 5 years.
Oh man, you know that's Avengers.
Of course.
All right, so Infinity Wars or Endgame?
Endgame.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Endgame. Y'all agree?
Yeah, okay, definitely.
Listen.
Definitely. Did you check the Snyder Cut?
Oh, I forgot about that. Hey, that's top. That's number one right now.
I still ain't watched that one yet.
Oh,
bro.
I still ain't watched.
Look,
That's
bro.
4 hours, man.
It
don't feel like 4 hours.
It don't. It just.
That's 4 hours.
It's 4 hours.
Yeah, it's you right.
I gotta break that down.
Well, it's in parts.
Yeah, they got like 5 or 6 parts.
It'll be like part 1, and then it'll go black.
Bruh.
Okay, so you said
You can
okay.
pause it.
Yeah, bruh.
But you gotta check it. Dog.
It's like that. Okay.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. But what qualities make a good film?
Just a well-rounded story, man. And actors make or break a story.
Yeah.
If the acting ain't all the way up to par, you can say anything. It's not gonna hit. So good acting and a good story is the main thing that I look for. It ain't got to be a lot of explosives. It just got to be something that just grabs my attention.
Yeah.
In this Tools film, we had to train because it's a lot of new actors in this thing, and I think God did it on purpose. So we trained them for a whole year and got them to that place of where they can act, so to speak. And they've been signed to talent agency, so so that's amazing. But the crazy thing about it, Al really don't act like that. So to see the performance they put on, it will blow you away. It's one actor in there. After the edit, I saw him. I was like, man, this dude is good. And he don't even know he's good. So, man, I can't give it away.
Now don't do it.
Don't do it.
Do not go down that dark alley.
But yeah, story and acting, actors in general have to match and mesh well with whatever character they're trying to portray.
I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. So, the question is, what films have been the most inspiring or influential to you? You can name one or multiples. Doesn't matter to me.
Man, let me see.
And why?
Oh yeah, and why?
man. Let me see. Cause I'm so in the now right now. I tend to forget. Man, y'all put me on the spot. I had this down, then I changed my mind.
Which first one come to your mind?
That's the crazy thing. It's a goofy movie.
No, go ahead.
The Goonies.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
The Goonies.
Yes. You remember the Goonies? Sean Astin. Listen, not Sean Astin. Sean. No, it's Sean Astin. Yeah, he played in Rudy.
Yeah. I don't think
Okay,
I
no,
seen- I don't
it's
think
an
I
old
seen it.
movie, man.
The Goonies, man. Then more recent, not recent, but back in the day too. Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society.
Yes.
Those are kind of
Cult classics.
yeah. So Tools got a vibe like that, but it's more. It ain't that raw, but it. And this disclaimer, it's some cussing in the film. I didn't write that.
It's all good.
But they ad-libbed that to make it hit harder.
If the Saints go and watch it and they get offended by it,
Yeah.
y'all go to your family's cookout and they cussing. So
Hey.
I'm just saying.
Man,
Look at this. Half the people I work. Come on, now. If I'm offended by that, I wouldn't work there.
right? We had a saying that life isn't PG.
No, it's not.
It's always rated R. It's in your face,
In your face.
uncensored.
Okay. Since you said that, I mean that's one of the reasons we did. Another reason we did the podcast also. But all of us come from church background. Why do y'all feel like we as a church don't have those? We want to kind of censor everything and go PG, which I do.
Yeah.
On the one hand,
I get it.
because you're in church, you kind of got to have some decency and order, as the Bible talks about. However, you should still be talking about some stuff.
Yeah. It's about how you talk about it. It's like I say tact. Like we don't have to we can speak about sex and not be vulgar.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I mean that's one example. I mean how I gotta sit down when my son gets of age, I gotta sit down and talk about the birds and the bees.
Man, that's a hard conversation.
I guarantee it's gonna be a hard conversation. I'm going to expose him to that stuff because I don't want the world doing it because the world's gonna take it way over there.
I ain't gonna lie. me and my wife, because both our kids are like my daughter, she's 11, my son, he's 13. So we in them teens.
Right there. Yeah.
So I know for us with that conversation, I ain't gonna lie, I get raw. The same words y'all hear at school. Oh, we gonna put it right here on the table. This
We getting it right here at home.
yes,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying. But I don't know. I just been having a problem with us as the church. Don't talk about the folk behind their back. Let's have these conversations. So give them the tools. That way, pun intended. Give them the tools. Give them the tools. That way, look, when you face this situation, now you responsible for this. You can't say the church didn't tell you.
Facts. Man, yeah.
That's facts, man.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I be like, why let's have these conversations.
Hey, because I mean, I've never been in a church that done this, but I have heard stories of where there's this young teen girl, early in her teens gets pregnant, and they straight up ostracized the girl. But we're not having these conversations with our youth about sex and all this other stuff, and forgive me, but I'm gonna tell my son about abstinence, but I'm also gonna teach him about contraception because it's his decision.
Yep.
It shouldn't be I'm gonna just say, hey, don't have sex. Well, my son is in that stage now. He's like, why?
Yep.
He asks me why.
Yep.
He'll ask me why. Like he's Daddy, you watching TV? Yeah. Why?
Oh yeah, gotta love that stage.
I love it. He's in because he's getting that age. He's starting to develop
Inquisitive.
Man, I'm glad you said that because that's kind of like what people in the church do anyway. We can't do this, but why? We can't talk about this. Why? And they don't get the answer. It's like,
and
okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You go.
The very first episode we ever did, the intro, was one of the things you said that the church has mastered: biblical illiteracy.
Exactly.
It's like we're not able to logic like we don't. Now it's not every church.
Not every church.
I mean, there are several pockets of the church that's having these conversations and they can biblically back it up. But overall, no, don't let me say overall. No. There's a good bit of us. We don't have that biblical knowledge where we can back up why we saying this is why you don't do this,
right?
Or this is why you don't do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a like sex in the Bible.
Song of Solomon.
Facts. It's a beautiful.
The juice drips down.
Listen,
it's in there, bro.
If y'all get offended by this, I'm sorry. But he talked about titties so much in there. I was
what? He loved his wife. He loved his wife. He did. Facts. But see, this thing is it's God created it.
Yeah.
Why shun your kids from it? It's decent in a specific time and place. And we can make that be known.
And of course, you want to keep it age appropriate,
yes. Right?
But at the same time,
but hey, look, half your friends out there doing it. I guarantee it. Now, look, I for one am like, look, I want you. I admonish you to wait because there's a lot of emotional baggage that comes with it. What spiritual baggage that comes with it?
Because the reality is, we're not gonna be with our kids 24/7.
No, we're not. So, like I said, give your kids the tools. So that they can maneuver through these avenues in life and make their own decisions. Right. But at the end of the day, you can't sit there and point your finger at me and say, you didn't equip me with this. No, I gave you the tools. Yeah. You just left them in the suitcase.
Oh man.
Well, tool shack, whatever that thing called. Toolbox.
Toolbox.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
That's a good conversation.
Yeah. That's what we're about. That's what we're about. But
so, what movie directors or producers inspired you the most?
I have an idea of who it is too. Go ahead.
I bet you don't guess.
John Singleton.
Nope.
A word?
You swore up and down. You swore up and down.
I did.
You swore up and down.
Look, if he said Steven Spielberg,
that's number 2 actually.
Word.
Yeah. No, not Steven Spielberg. John Singleton.
Okay.
My first was Christopher Nolan.
Oh yeah.
Batman trilogy.
Yes sir. Yes sir.
Come on now.
Yeah. I mean, what's the movie with the blue people? Avatar.
That's James Cameron.
That's James Cameron? Oh, yeah. My bad.
Batman trilogy, cuz.
Right.
Facts. Oh, yeah.
Inception.
Oh, yeah.
Tenet, the news.
Gosh. Oh, he did that too, didn't he?
Yeah. I ain't
He's very cerebral with his movies.
Yep. And the crazy thing about it, I think he said all his stories are original.
And I can see that.
It's not adapted from anything. So yeah, so that's John Singleton, number 2. He got Snowfall. Rest in peace.
Love it.
Yeah.
That was number 2. Cause he's for us, man. He hits. You can
In almost every movie.
every movie you can say, man, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But
With
if
all
I
the cussing in it, that's real. Like,
But if I see Baby Boy one more time,
Jody. But see, he makes those classics. He
Yeah.
made those classics that you can watch over and over and over and over again. So
yep. Wow.
you was close though. You was close.
I swore. I told him. I said, "Look, this was gonna be. I give it."
He swore up and down
I
for real.
swore up and down, boy. Because I mean, because like you said, you know, those movies that he has produced. I mean,
Right.
classics. I mean, and they hit that black experience so well. So what impact do you hope this movie has?
Man, I pray that people just look deep into the story. You know, as a creative, you know, I can pray that people get what we was trying to convey. But I just pray people dig deep into it. You can view it 2 ways, on the surface, or you actually can go deep into what we're trying to convey. The cast did it over time. You know, they said, man, that means this means that. I didn't catch that. So I pray that rolls over into the audience as well, because it's a very deep film. So if you're going through, I guess, mental health problems, that's one of the biggest things in it. Depression, anxiety, any dark period in your life, I hope that you see the people on screen as they try to navigate through it. A lot of raw emotions. Some may not end the way you wanted it to end, but it's a purpose and a reason for everything. So I just pray people get inspired to not only, you know, identify with these characters, but inspired to do something outside of their comfort zone as well, as far as making. It ain't got to be a film, but if God gave you something to do it, do it. Stop procrastination. The same thing as disobedience. So you have to.
Time out.
Hey,
Push rewind. Go back.
say that again.
Say that one more
Say
time.
that one more time.
Procrastination is the same thing as disobedience. Because God operates off what? Seasons.
Yeah.
You just stepped on my toes.
Oh.
That's another reason I said, God damn.
And the reason why I say that, because I don't know if y'all believe in prophecy. I do.
Oh yes. Yes,
yeah.
we do.
Trust me. Trust me on that.
Years ago, went up to I think it was Greensboro. But you know, I'm kind of iffy about prophets because some of them, you know.
For profit. I got you.
So I was sitting there, you know, but I came expecting, like I was hyped, like me and my wife was there, and he started. As soon as he get up on the mic, he start prophesying. I'm like, oh man, here we go. He starting early. So he called after one woman. I said, okay, that's cool. He said, Pastor. I wasn't the pastor then. He looked dead at me and said, Pastor. So he don't know what I'm talking about. I'm calling you about what you're called to do. So I'm like,
What was his name? You remember?
oh, Howard. He passed away though.
Gotcha.
Something. Went up there, read me like a book. I said, okay, this is scary. But he said, he looked at me dead in the eye and said, your time is up. I'm like, whoa, I'm gonna die? You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute.
Nah, but he said, you late on what God wants you to do. Your time is up. But he's gracing you with more time.
Wow.
What he told my wife was he said, your time is up. Didn't say nothing after that. He said, your job is to push him. So
Ain't nothing like a good woman that I push you, right?
yeah.
you,
So
boy.
and she pushed me.
How long y'all been married?
13 years.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was like, man, okay. I that's when I knew that you can't procrastinate because you're gonna miss out on your blessings, man. I'm not saying it won't come back around, but just think if you did it the first time, how big that blessing would be. Now you taking the long path to what God has for you. You know?
Children of Israel.
Yeah, so why you gonna wait 40 years for something that God wants you to have now?
They were just walking around it, which is the crazy thing. They were right there.
Right there.
They couldn't see it.
We can go deep into that
Yeah,
one.
we could.
Listen.
We could,
You know what? We might need to have you back on just kicking
Definitely.
it.
Hey, man, facts.
real.
Facts. For real. For real.
But see, that's why I always tell people, man, just start, man. Do people look at resources and God just said start. He didn't say resource. He said just start, and I will send you the people that God will has for you. That's how this movie got started, man.
That's how this podcast got started.
What'd you say?
Wow.
What'd you say? Go ahead. Go ahead, say it.
What did I say?
If it's God's will,
It's God's
God's
bill.
bill.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I met with some other guy. He does a podcast, Crossing the Line, Carlos.
Yes.
He said he started. He didn't have nothing, and somebody gifted him with a whole podcast package. So it was like
Same thing for us.
Same, bro.
Wow.
Same, man.
Literally. So my big bro Jamie, just kind of quick history. So I told him about it. I reached out to Torez. Me and him sat down and talked. Jamie said, and then right after me and Torez talked, the pandemic hit.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of hit pause. We just didn't know what was going on at the time. So then Jamie hit me. He's like, bro, what is y'all waiting on? I was like, he said, bro, because his business is a party band. So, he got equipment out the wazoo.
Right.
He said, man, I'm not using this. In fact, that's the board right there.
Yeah, on the floor over there.
That's the board. He's like, here, I'm not using this. Terez already had a mic. He gave me a mic. He said, this is what you need to do. He showed me what everything to do. We recorded like 4 episodes, and then when we officially launched, we was already 4 episodes in.
Yeah. We just dropped
wow.
it. Yeah.
Like we literally already had everything, and he just said, "Bro, here." He said, "I believe in what y'all trying to do," and said, "Y'all need to go with it."
And what's wild on the other end of that. So I'm on another podcast called Views from the Floor, and I was already doing podcast. I was already like 2-3 years deep in podcasting, and
Man, I had a series called Views from the Bottom.
really,
Yeah, that's crazy.
but, so I was in that, and I had our plan was to expand. We wanted to make Views from the Floor a company, like a podcasting type network thing. So our plan was to expand podcasts. So I had wrote out podcasts. The same time in 2018, I had wrote my whole entire podcast out, how I wanted everything to be about everything. And I think the same time you Pastor Apostle Mike James, no, you.
My wife.
Your wife. Okay, there it is.
We had just moved into this house, and I'm a reader and I'm a thinker, so that's all I do. And she was like, "Have you ever thought about just doing a podcast, just get some of your thoughts out there?" I literally go in one end out the other. I was like, "I'm not about to." I don't.
Yeah.
And me and Reese go back 20 years. So
And then like right before the pandemic hit, my pastor is like, "Son, you need to get busy doing some kingdom work." He's like, "You faithful here, but the Lord says you need to be doing something to expand the kingdom." And then the whole idea for the podcast came back. I was like, "Tell me this, I need to be doing it." I've been sitting on it. I reached out to him.
You already had it.
I already had him at that.
Yeah.
Look, we met at Starbucks right up here.
Literally, the same idea I had was what he had on his paper.
I just plied it open and said,
Man, listen.
And like just the way it's, and I mean, and we already had that chemistry because we basically grew up together.
literally.
Right.
Like the way God brought us back, I was like, it still blows my mind sometimes.
It really is.
That gave me goosebumps, man. That's crazy.
Like
See, that's why this is what I said. What God told me is true, man. You just got to start.
Yeah.
That's all. Because how people gonna believe if they don't see it? They don't see you doing it.
Facts.
That's for real.
You got to sow into yourself first before anybody else can sow into you. So
Yeah.
So last question, or unless you got something else.
Nah, because I mean, really, he done kind of.
He already did answer
He
that.
really answered
It
it.
is. Just get started. All right, so word association. We do this 5 words. First thing jumps to your mind. Start off, Maurice.
Christopher Nolan.
genius,
Jonathan Oglesby.
man of God,
06 Films.
family,
Tools.
The laugh says it all.
Man, I gotta sum that up.
It could be a word or a phrase.
That word, yeah.
Oh,
People always get stumped on number 4.
yeah, God's blueprint.
Hey.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yo, I like that. High definition.
Dope podcast.
Facts.
Word.
All right, so plug the movie. Shout out the cast. Plug your social medias where everybody can find you at.
Tools premieres April 24th at the Chapman Cultural Center. 2 showings, 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is the red carpet premiere featuring Siege, Reggie Rock, Al Harris, everybody from the Tools EP performing live at the 7 o'clock show only. 3 p.m., $20, 7 p.m., $25. You cannot get your tickets the day of the event. You cannot get your tickets the day of the event.
Listen.
Online, it stops at 2 p.m., an hour before the matinee showing. On Saturday, April 24th at the Chapman Culture Center. A dope movie. Everybody can relate to it. You can get something out. You're going to cry. You're going to laugh. But you're going to do some self-inspection on yourself to help elevate you from where you are now. Shout out to the cast. Thank you so much for, enduring filming this. And thank you for believing in it. And we just pray that people come out and support what we did. The first feature-length film in Spartanburg, South Carolina. See you April 24th.
Spartanburg, show up.
Yes, sir.
Show up, man. Like, dog, we got a lot of dope producers, directors, movie screenplay. You name it. We got it right here at Homegrown. Support them here before they get there. All right?
It's a whole nother conversation. The table is big enough for everybody to eat.
Facts.
Man.
Facts.
Can we keep this going out? No,
We have to get you back on, bro.
Hey,
For real.
we definitely gotta get you back on,
For
man.
real.
Plug your socials. How can everybody find you?
You can find us at 06 Films on IG, the Tools Project on Facebook. You can follow me, Jonathan Oglesby, Oglesby. Just be mentioned. Let the Tools Project. It will no longer be the Tools Project Facebook page. It would turn into 06 Films, OSIXFILM
Films.
MS. You can follow us and see what we got coming up. The next film is called Canvas.
And that was the other question.
There it
What
was.
what's next?
Yes.
So there you go. There y'all go.
Can we go into that?
Nope. Don't say that. We need more.
Cause we gotta get you back on.
More episodes. So give us something to get you back on here with, man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we gonna talk some more after this. Cause I just got some stuff hit my head. I got stuff that hit my head already. So
But hey, Spartanburg, make sure y'all show up this Saturday.
yeah, please.
Chapman Cultural Arts Center. Make sure you get them tickets before Saturday. Well, by 2:00 on
Y'all
Saturday.
coming? Oh, before we go, I want to give away 2 tickets. 2 tickets. It could be a single person or a couple. 2 tickets. When this drops, hopefully it drops. Procrastination, the same thing. Is this?
Hey, look, we ain't gonna procrastinate. We gotta worry about the internet access.
Trust me, if I gotta go to Jamie house and get this thing, trust me.
2 tickets. The first people, 1 or 2 people to hit my inbox, you will get those tickets to either the 3 p.m. or the 7 p.m. showing. So
and we will not be participating in this, so we not cheating, all right? It's for y'all.
Hey,
yes, sir.
so that's it.
That's it, bro.
Listen, this is another episode of High Definition Podcast. I'm Maurice,
I'm Torez
and y'all remember to live life.
from the highest definition.
We're gonna catch y'all on the next episode.